Yeah, just giving the new BOP Belt Adjuster a whirl, and I really like it. It seems to work really well with the new octagonal design. You can actually do it by hand now. If you got pretty strong hands, you can actually dial this in by hand to put your belt on. I just did it, and you know, if your hand's not slippery, you can grab it. Now, of course, you don't have to do it that way. You can use the two holes, top or bottom, and you can just put your Allen key right in there and just give it a crank that way. But as you can see, I'm not grabbing it too hard, and I'm able to dial it right in by hand. Of course, make sure your screw's loose. You know, if it's just a little bit tight, it might snug it up a little bit, but you can see mine's loose, so it's just real easy. I put a dab of blue Loctite on the screw, just initially, just to kind of get those threads gummed up, just so that doesn't come out. I'm sure it's probably fine because it's got so much tension on it. But yeah, so you can just set your deflection, get that basically where you want it. On the 8JP, you want it pretty much even. And then back that out, kind of bump that up against it. That's looking pretty good. I like that right there. So just kind of bump that up against it, and then you're gonna just give that a snug down. And you'll be all set. Doing it left-handed, so. And that tightens it down. You got those really nice little plastic pucks on the back of that go against the nice helix. That's a brand spanking new helix, and it just doesn't even put a mark on it. Now, Travis sent it to me with 4 washers. So at first I didn't think I needed the 4 washers, but he must have figured it out that you do, because it looks like the bolt will bottom out if you only try it with 2 washers, which I tried to do. So make sure you put all 4 washers on the end, or you could put it between the stock float plug and the new bar and parts plug. You could put the washers in between there or on the other end. I guess it doesn't really matter. And then I use the, I guess you don't have to, but I chose to use the large factory washer. And of course, it's the factory float plug that you're using. You take the 2 factory shims out and you put Travis's 4 washers in. But the nice thing about this is if this ever did loosen, if this bolt came completely out and something crazy happened and this backed off, this large washer will catch this, so it can't just come right off. So I'm really liking that design. I mean, you can see with the OSP design, it's a little different. And of course, you use the factory bolt with the OSP. But with that design, if this loosens, if this happened to loosen here and this bolt came out, this thing can just, as you can see, could just spin right off, because you don't have that big washer behind there. So I kind of, not that that's ever happened to me, but I do like that bar and parts design. Nothing really wrong with the OSP design. It's just different. I just didn't like it because right away when I was using a bigger spring on the secondary, this belt removal bolt that they give you, it just stripped right out. So and that's still fine. It just doesn't, you won't be able to use the belt removal anymore. But with this setup, there is no bolt. There's nothing to strip. You're basically using this whole knob to change